Hi, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. I have a story I want to tell you today. It is about when I was 19 years old and I was completely out of my comfort zone in a new job. I was working at Hanna Nickel Mine and my supervisor was John O'Sullivan. Some of you might know him. I went to school with his daughter, Melinda O'Sullivan, who passed away when she was in 6th grade of leukemia. It was a really sad time. But this is now many years later. So I was working there. I had never done so many things. That fit me for this job. I had never used a shovel in my life. I had never worn long pants or work boots or work gloves. And here I was thrust in this brand new type of work. I went working there because it paid much more than the job I had in the supermarket, little supermarket in Riddle. Well, one day, what happened was John had all the new employees. I think there were about 6 of us, and we had to learn how to go up the man lift at the smelter. Now, the man lift was an interesting contraption. It was a conveyor belt. That's what it was. Only instead of going horizontally, it went vertically, up and down. So I really don't know how high each floor was at the smelter, and I think there were 3 levels, but I would say they had to be at least 40 feet each because they had big equipment and stuff in them running. So there were stairs where you could go up to the upper levels. We were down at the bottom, of course, but that takes a lot of energy. So there was this man lift. I want to tell you, I am scared of heights. The man lift was the conveyor belt, like I said, and it had a cup thing made of metal that was attached to it that you could hook your hands on. And then you could stand on a small metal plate as a platform. It seemed like a horrible idea to me. And then it would just lift you up, and you would, there was nothing around you, and you would go through a hole at each new level, in each floor, and get up that way. At the top of it, of course, it would just, circle back down. There was a red light that would flash at the side, which meant, get off now, the thing's about to go over. So I told Mr. O'Sullivan, I can't do this. I can't do this. And he told me, that it was required that I learned how to do this. And I said, no, you don't understand. I am so scared of heights. I can't do it. But I promise you, I can run up all these stairs and I will beat the last person to the stop, to whichever floor we're going to. But he said no. So I had to get on that conveyor belt. I clamped on, and when I got on there, I was petrified. And I just tried to look right at that belt because you could see all the way down each floor, because there was that opening that, you went up through, and that helped you see all the way down. It was really a long ways. So I was on that, and I went up through the first floor and then the next floor. Well, the light at the side was blinking, and Mr. O'Sullivan was already at the top. He had went up. And I could hear Mr. O'Sullivan yelling at me, "Get off, get off, get off, get off." And yank, he pulled me off the conveyor belt. And the conveyor belt went down. And he said, "Go down and do it again." I said, "No, I can't do it. I promise I will always make sure and beat the last person up." He said, "No." So I went down again. I got on that conveyor belt, put my hands in it, and again I was frozen. I was just so scared I was frozen. And I went up through the first floor and the second floor, and that light was blinking. Mr. O'Sullivan was yelling, "Get off, get off, get off," yank, and he pulled me off. After that, Mr. O'Sullivan decided I could run up those stairs. And I was determined that I was not going to make him regret that. So each time we went upstairs, and I didn't work there long at all, so there weren't a lot of times, but I made it up before the last person on that man lift, because only one could go at a time. So I want to tell you what I learned from this story. I learned that God makes a way for us. And if the door isn't good, he gives us a window. And running up those stairs was my window, because the door, which was the man lift, was not a good fit for me. Well, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. I hope you enjoyed this story. Hope you get something from it. So just leave me a note, if you could, of a comment, of what you think about this story, or if you ever had anything like that happen to you. All right. So, Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead, I want to pray blessings on you and yours, in your house and out of your house, in the day and the night. Whatever you do, keep dreaming. Bye-bye.